Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Andover Community Center for the 4th annual Summer Classic. It's Hockey Night in Canada, hosted by Hometown Hockey Minnesota. And Don, we had just 4 barn burner games this morning, starting first with the Edmonton Oilers and the Vancouver Canucks. Give us a little synopsis of how you felt that game went.
Well, you know, at the beginning, I said this is going to be a high-scoring game. I picked Vancouver. I was right. I think I missed the goal total by a little bit, but it ended up 7-6. And I'll tell you, that Vancouver team, it didn't matter what line they had out there, they were always a threat to score. That's a good hockey team. They might be in it for the long haul this weekend.
Yeah, I do remember you saying that this team was built around offense, and they definitely didn't let us down.
Oh, 7 goals, 25 shots. I mean, like I said, a threat every single time they're on the ice. And I was a little bit worried about their defense. They did give up 6, but they played better than I thought.
A couple of players on that Vancouver team that I thought played very, very well. You got to look at that top line, the line of Glenchin and Hunter Bill, and then the young player Mason Schmidt. Mason Schmidt, I think if we total it up, 3 points in all, a goal and 2 assists. Just a great game by those 3 kids, and did a lot for putting points up on the board for the Canucks.
I would completely agree. I thought Hunter Bill, he looked like one of the fastest guys in the whole tournament, and it's nice to see him finish off a couple of goals.
Yeah, he has struggled a little bit this year scoring, but not today.
Not today. So hopefully that continues. I think Vancouver's going to need him to score to have this continue. Mason Schmidt, wow. I mean, we didn't see that one coming.
Didn't see that one coming. We talk about every time that we watch games, we always talk about the players that do the little things, and he seemed to do a lot of the little things right today, which helped the Canucks get their victory.
I can remember a good pass he made that led to a goal, and being on the doorstep, scoring a goal, right place, right time. That's what it takes to be a good hockey player.
Yeah, and then not to mention the player of the game, Noah Bottom. Noah had a great game. Played a little defense, played a little forward. They moved him around a little bit. He's a versatile player. Does a lot of good things to help that Vancouver Canuck team be successful.
I'm telling the team's loaded. I mean, we haven't even talked about the Stefan boy who scored a couple goals. You know, what great team, and Noah Bottom fits in well with that piece.
Bobby Hendricks plays strong in the net, stops 18 shots. The Oilers had pressure several times throughout the game. He stood tall and then did a good job and got himself the victory.
Yeah. And, you know what? Let's go to Edmonton now. Boy, it looked like after about halfway through that game that Edmonton was, they were done. It looked like the ship had sunk. They were down, I think, 3 goals at one time.
I think they were down 3 goals. I think you're correct.
And they came storming back, played very well in the 3rd period. And just a credit to the kids on the team and to the coaching staff. And Jordan Tachny, wow, I didn't know who he was. I now know who that kid is. He scored 3 goals, hat trick right away, 3 unassisted goals.
Getting the hat trick, I will say on the Edmonton side, you're going to need to see for them to be successful. Guys like Ethan Elms going to have to step up a little bit more. Ryan Wallen in goal. Ryan Wallen, we talked about this morning, being one of the best goaltenders this tournament. Let a couple soft ones in. That's usually not like him. He's going to have to step up to help Edmonton get back in this. If they want to be in it for the long haul and win this cup, Ryan Wallen's going to have to play well in the net.
You know what? I do like the way they finished. Yeah, I thought Ryan played a lot better the second half of the game. That's what kind of helped Edmonton get back into it. But the way they finished, they didn't quite come up with the tie. But it shows that they're in it. They got a chance just like everybody else.
Absolutely. So we're done with Vancouver and Edmonton. We're going to step back to the next game, and we're going to go to Winnipeg and Calgary. And here's another one. What a fabulous hockey game. A 4-2 victory for the Winnipeg Jets. Another one that you picked. You were 2-0 with your selections. If I think back of what we thought the scores were going to be, we also thought this was going to be a tight game. What can you say about the Calgary Flames? They go down and lose 4-2, but they were in this game up until probably about 6 minutes left in the 3rd period.
You know, I thought they dominated the 1st period. They didn't have any goals to show for it, but they were up on a few shots after the 1st period. They kind of carried play, and kind of about at the halfway point, things kind of evened out a little bit, and then Winnipeg took over maybe a little bit, especially towards the end of the second period. But Calgary played well. Carson Raymond, we talked about him earlier this morning.
Player of the game.
Player of the game, nice goal. Played well defensively and carried the puck and obviously scored a very nice goal.
Yeah, I think if you look at up and down that line, I think Finn Loftus played very, very well this morning.
Yeah.
You're going to need the Calgary Flames to be successful this weekend. They're going to need that line of Jacob Pearson, Noah Martin, and Logan Seward to do more than what they did this morning.
I would completely agree. I mean, those kids, they should be getting shot. I don't know. Maybe 1 or 2 shots on goal the whole game. And for Calgary to be successful, they have to have those guys getting shots on goal.
Absolutely.
Creating offense. I mean,
one other bright spot for the Calgary Flames are Taden Hansen, a name that we hadn't heard of.
Yeah.
A kid that we really didn't know a lot about. Had a great hockey game. Good 3 periods.
He did. He played 3 good hockey periods. Ended up scoring a goal. Noticeable every time he was on the ice.
Absolutely. Did a lot of good things. Now we switch over to the winners of the second game, the Winnipeg Jets. Loudon McCoy plays solid between the net, the pipes. We mentioned this morning their defensive core is very strong, and they didn't let us down.
No, they didn't. And led by Weston Knox. Scored 2 goals, had an assist, played well, could have and maybe should have deserved player of the game. But you give a lot of times you like to give the player of the game to the game-winning goal, and that was Caden Hallberg, who played a nice game. But boy, Weston Knox really controlled play out there. Really did a nice job for the Jets.
Yeah, one of the things the Jets, I think, they benefited from is their third line, the Hunter Copley. That line with Josh Lochner and Austin Kelpie did an excellent job of making sure that they kept the top line of Calgary in check.
Yep.
They even created some scoring opportunities. Copley had one there late in the game and off the right-hand corner. They did a really nice job keeping that top line in check, but also, like I said, put some pressure on the Flames and created some scoring opportunities.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Winnipeg, they're a team. I picked them to win, and I still like Calgary. I still do. I think it's a toss-up between those two, but this Winnipeg is a dangerous team, and they certainly showed it. I think they might even be able to play a little better.
I think you're correct. So we get off this morning's games. We're going to get to the afternoon's games in the single A section. First game that we're going to talk about, the Ottawa Senators and the Quebec Nordiques. The Senators win this game 7-6. There's a lot of people that have...
Quebec won 7-6. That's okay. Didn't they?
No.
Yes. Yes, they did.
She's got the score wrong. All right.
Quebec did win 7-6.
So the Quebec did win 7-6. I apologize for that. She's got a typo, and we'll have to remind Laura about that as we get ready for this afternoon's late sessions. So we got a 7-6 victory of the Quebec Nordiques, and I was going to mention we had people come up to us as this game was going on saying this Senators team was stacked, and they didn't see anybody beating the Senators team. And then of course Quebec comes back and beats them. What can you tell me about how Quebec got that done?
Well, one guy.
Yeah.
One guy. I mean, you get 4 goals in one game. Carter Davis, player of the game. Great game. Every time he touched the puck, he was a threat. You notice who he is. He's big. He's fast. Can shoot the puck well. That really helped. And to start off the game, Carter wasn't going. Ottawa had their top line with a lot of top players on that line, and they were not matched up with Carter Davis. And then at the end of the game, the impressive piece for that is that the top line for Ottawa was kind of non-existent, and Carter Davis was still able to control the game playing against those guys.
Again, mentioning he scored 4 goals. Other contributors on the Quebec team, Cohen Schmeichel, a kid that we didn't know a lot about coming into this weekend. What a game this kid had at defense.
I'll tell you what, if it wasn't for Carter scoring 4 goals, I think Cohen might have been the player of the game. Probably the second best player on the Nordiques today. Played a great game.
I would agree. One disappointment this morning's session with the Quebec Nordiques. Caden Martin, one of the strongest, best players on the team. Probably not the best game he's played. We're going to be looking for him to do a little bit more this afternoon.
Well, he got a 2-minute penalty for being lazy, is what the announcer called it. It was for hooking. And, if Quebec's going to be successful, he has to go. He has to go. I will say, though, number 52, Braden Hansberg, played a pretty good game.
Absolutely, great game. Great game playing defense in front of Logan Meister, who also stepped up, a young rookie goaltender, stepping up in his first playoff NHL game and just did a phenomenal job.
Yep. Score 7-6, Ottawa job. So you know the goaltender.
So we switch over to Ottawa. Ottawa's a team that a lot of people, like we said, thought is stacked. You've got names like Cogswell. You've got names like Stringfellow. You've got names like Kohler. You know what? And the one name that stuck out to me, young Ryan Barthel, getting 2 goals.
Yeah.
Player of the game.
He played really well, and might have been one that we didn't quite know about. We knew he was a good hockey player, but as far as he's one that really showed up for that team today and had a great game.
Yeah. The other one to mention that really had a great game is Tristan Heisinger. I think he had 2 goals. Did score 2 goals, 2 points on the night. He had another great game. He had a chance late on a breakaway to score a third that would have tied this game up.
And I'll tell you, how about it was about 30 seconds left. That puck was laying right in the crease. Right in the crease, not covered or anything. I think one player swiped at the puck, missed it completely, and then it was frozen. Man, you couldn't have a better game.
Yeah, absolutely. A great start to the single A morning session. We're done with that game now, and we're going to move on to the nightcapper, which in my opinion was probably the best hockey game of the afternoon or the morning, is the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Montreal Canadiens. With those 2 teams, this is what you'd expect out of those 2 franchises.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we saw the second goal of the game for Toronto. Preston Holmes, probably the prettiest goal of the morning, of all the games. Very nice goal that he scored. And then he scored one late just to tie it up, and we ended up 3-3 in that game.
Yeah, and we get that's first tie of the weekend. The other games, all within 1 or 2 goals. The goal you're talking about with Preston Holmes comes down with a puck in between his feet and gets it about 6 inches of the goaltender and stuffs it upstairs to make it a 2-2 game, or is it?
I think it was 2-2
game
at that time.
And then he gets one late, obviously, to tie it up 3-3. Shots were 15-13. Other kids that were very impressive. Dylan Prokosh, a kid from the Montreal Canadiens, an unknown kid that really did an excellent job. He came out, he gets player of the game, does really, really well. Danny Blomqvist with a great game. Landon Seward, probably the best goaltender at the single A level, has a good game, but I think Landon, we probably get
he
more
can
out
play.
of him.
He certainly can play better.
Absolutely.
He certainly can play better, and Montreal needs him to play a little bit better. Not that he played awful, but he's a guy that they're really going to have to rely on.